valuable clothes to buy their kids. That's simple. You know, because it's not like the kids have the money to buy the clothes anyway. All right, let me get to my busy phones here. Roxanne is with us in Texas. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm sharing my frustration with the whole transgender marketing that's going on right now. And I think y'all had just an excellent conversation about it just now. But I am a transgender female here deep in Texas. And I'm living my life quietly and happily. I'm involved in my community. And what I see going on is not representative of the transgender community as I know it. Because as a transgender female, when I go somewhere and I see a masculine man with his beard and chest in a woman's wedding dress, or a masculine figure in a woman's bathing suit with all of his figure going on, I just see that as wrong. And quite honestly, I haven't met anybody who's in agreement with this that thinks that that's attractive or cute or pretty.
Well, so you yourself made the decision to become trans. Is that a fair statement?
I made the decision to become female. I am legally female.
Okay, so
such.
So that's called transitioning, isn't it? That's I mean, I don't want to play word games or parse words.
But that's correct.
You made this decision as an adult, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and maybe it's something you struggled with when you were young. I'm just.
It is. I had a military father, though, who wasn't going to stand for it. And we had a great relationship. I had a great childhood. I actually went on to live a quite normal, manly life, except I could never seem to get, I couldn't hold a job. And it just wasn't really anything I was doing. I was just caught up in this whole recycling and downcycling over and over again that it cost me a marriage. And through a series of events, this is a long story, but anyways, several years ago, I went into counseling, and they said, have you ever considered gender dysphoria? And then it all started making sense for me and coming together. And I will say that I am in a much better place emotionally and mentally for making that decision. And things are going great right now.
You know, well, first of all, I think most of my audience would agree with me, and I can't speak for everybody, obviously, is as an adult, you have something in this country that we should all cherish, and we're losing a lot of it, unfortunately, on a regular basis. It's called freedom. And my belief is if you have the belief that everyone has the right to pursue happiness, and this is your way of pursuing happiness, I'll be very blunt, Roxanne, it's none of my business. My hope for you would be that you have a happy, healthy, prosperous life. What I like in what you're saying is you don't like this indoctrination or inundating our children with it. Tell me why.
Well, because that's a decision for the family. You know, that's something that's quite personal. And I think that when a child is showing signs of that, they should let that play out a little bit and decide whether or not it needs to be going through counseling or whatever. But that's a family decision.
You know, look, I agree with you. And I think, do you agree with me that kids that are, you know, in some instances, and not even prepubescent or teenagers, you agree with me that they're not spiritually, mentally, psychologically developed enough to make such a drastic decision like this?
Yes, I do agree with that.
You know, and
be a phase.
It could be a phase, exactly. And maybe at that point they need loving parents. Maybe they don't like what they're dealing with. However, that are going to be there for them, love them unconditionally, but also make sure that they help the child get to the bottom of it. We don't need kids in such conflict that, they get depressed, they get, who knows what's going to go through their head next, right?
Well, I think we're in agreement with that. And to another issue, I'm going to change the subject just a little bit, but as far as men going into women's spaces, a transgender person wants to blend in, and the term that we don't want to hear is clocked. Clocked meaning that you've been identified as transgender. We want to pass as the gender that's in our head. So for me, I want to pass as female. And if someone identifies me as sir or male, that's not good.
You think some people do it on purpose to just be a jackass, or?
Well, obviously, I have people here in East Texas. I'm in the Bible Belt here, and there are people that just won't accept it. Others they can't even remember what I used to be like.
But they're not your friends anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, right. people that truly believe in liberty and freedom, they may not agree with it. They may have religious conflicts over it, for example.
Another part of this. Here's another part of this. That when I am called sir, because it does happen, and it's not out of being malicious or anything. It's just that they've known me for so long, they can't help it. And they do apologize, and I tell them it's okay. I don't get militant about it. I don't correct them. I go, I understand, because I am changing your paradigm. I am asking you to understand where I'm coming from and believe in what I'm telling you. And I have been well accepted here in East Texas. I thought I'd have to move, but the people of East Texas have been wonderful. They love me because they look at my character and what I bring to the table. And that's what we need to do. We need to be part of the communities.
Caitlyn Jenner just started a new PAC. I think you'd be perfect to work on her PAC. Now, I knew Caitlyn when Caitlyn was Bruce. And actually, when this first all went down and was public, I literally said, and I was just goofing around, to be honest. I said, now, if I call you Bruce, you're not going to get all wigged out on me, are you? And she started laughing. She goes, no, you can call me whatever the hell you want. And she had a good sense of humor about it. We've had discussions. I understand more than I did before. Do I wish this for anybody? I really don't. I'm going to tell you why, because what I sense in a lot of people is that there's a lot of emotional and mental and spiritual turmoil that goes along with this process that you all decided to go through. And that part of it, I don't wish on anybody. I want everyone to be happy.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. I'm an Episcopalian now. But yeah, I wrestled with that, and trust me, me and God are completely good on this. You know, I like I said, it all comes down to character and what do you bring to the table.
Hang on, let me call God. God, are you good with Roxanne? Okay, no, I think you're good.
You think so? Well, I think...
No, I mean, what I'm glad about is, the thing that frustrates me in this whole debate, and even the, drag queen story hour stuff, is leave our kids alone. Values should be instilled by parents. There are certain decisions that parents and parents alone should be making. In the instances where there aren't parents, hopefully there are grandparents or there are supervising adults that would take on the role of a parent and work with the child in a loving way that does not cause them great damage. I got to run, Roxanne. Listen.